Delegate Assembly, please come to order. I'm sure you've all heard it and said it dozens of times, but won't hurt to say again to all, a happy and healthy new year. And would Captain Palenzuela please lead us in the pledge?
My pleasure. Oh, that's right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Please be looking over the minutes, and we will have the law enforcement report. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning from the Sheriff's Office. On behalf of PBSO, Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone had a great holiday season. Here we are at the beginning of 2020. So just want to put some things on the radar screen. So if you guys pay attention to the national news, there's certain communities in other parts of the United States are experiencing issues regarding the Jewish communities. So we're aware of that here at the Sheriff's Office, and we want to make sure that you guys have situational awareness. So if you're at your congregations or your place of worships or within your neighborhoods and you see something suspicious or you believe someone doesn't belong, it's very important that you contact law enforcement or let security know. So the sooner that we get involved in that and the sooner that we can find out what's going on, the better off we're all going to be. Don't take it for granted. You know, you live in a nice gated community, and we're pretty well taken care of here in South Florida. But don't take things for granted, especially when you're in a large group and you're out somewhere, either celebrating something or congregating with other people in a place of worship. So I just wanted to make you all aware of that. We had a pretty good holiday season as far as crime. We saw our trends still continue to go down. We're in the season, so be aware, especially on the Okeechobee corridor. Traffic has increased, and we see a lot of activity at our shopping centers. So when you're out there and you're interacting, just be aware when you're getting in and out of your vehicles in these parking lots. Well, we still want to make sure that that we are aware of that environment and that no one is watching what you're doing, coming to and from your car or following you somewhere. So just be aware of that. Make sure you have your cell phone with you. Make sure you have your pre-programmed numbers, either for 911 or for the Sheriff's Office non-emergency number. For those that are new to the area, if you need the Sheriff's Office for a non-emergency event, the best number to have programmed in your cell phone is 561-688-3400. That number rings right up to our communications department, which is right alongside our 911 operators. So you'll get the PBSO communications with that phone number. So if you're out somewhere and you see a traffic light out, you see a broken down car, you see something that requires our attention, if you have that number programmed in your cell phone, just put PBSO in there, non-emergency, and you dial that number, you'll get our communication center, and we can get some assistance to whoever may need it. Sure, absolutely. It's area code 561-688-3400. Okay, and that's a good number to have programmed in your phone. With that said, I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Hill. We had a pretty good month for December, and he'll go over the crime.
Happy New Year, everyone. We had a very good month, actually. We had one theft reported. Victim said his decal was taken off of his license plate. Doesn't know where or when. And we had a fraud case. Regrettably, a victim lost several $1,000s to a fraud scam. This was your iCloud account has been compromised, and we can fix it if you'll go out and buy us a bunch of prepaid gift cards. Rest assured that's not the way any reputable company will do business. If you didn't initiate the call, be very suspicious about something like that. Like I say, they're not going to call you up and tell you you missed jury duty, or that you didn't pay your turnpike tolls, or you didn't pay Microsoft or whatever. They're not, and gift cards are the answer. They're not. Hang up. And give us a call. So please keep a close eye on your accounts for that kind of activity. We're coming into tax season. If you haven't, yay, yeah. If you haven't started your process yet, it's always best to try and get it done early if you can, to get it over with, number one. Kind of like taking a Band-Aid off. But, get your paperwork in order, get it done and secured early. We all know that there's people out there that are looking to compromise your Social Security number and file taxes in your name, get any refunds that you might be due, that kind of thing. And it's a mess to straighten up if you're the victim of that. So please monitor your accounts. We had 2 minor assaults reported in the village. One was a neighbor issue and a refusal was signed, and one is still open pending some paperwork to the state attorney's office. Does anybody have any questions?
Come up to the mic. Your question might be of interest to many others.
Hi, good morning. Esther Satowski, Wellington E. When we talk about the scams, you should just know that yesterday I received about 6 phone calls trying to convince me that my name was William Fitzpatrick. I hope there's no William Fitzpatrick here, and that I owed a ton of money on Quicken Loan, and I really needed to take care of it right away, and they were going to be gracious enough to help me. I decided I never had a transgender change, and I didn't owe anybody money, so I just kept hanging up or not picking up. But the other question I wanted to ask was, where'd you go? Okay, you were talking about security. It's no great secret here that our security is kind of leaky at various places. If a villain, a shooter, comes into the village and starts shooting up at what's all the way over, East Hampton maybe? What do people do at Wellington? Because they're not going to know about it until the guy gets to us. Is there no way that we can send out an email blast to every email that we have, every phone number that we have, to say, shooter in the village, shelter in place? It's done in universities, it's done in the yeshivas all over the country. So can we do it here?
Yeah, I think a text alert would be better than an email, and I don't know if Century Village has the capacity, the security to do that if they have everybody's cell phones. But most universities and other places like that, they do it via text, not necessarily email. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that's something they might look into.
Has a whole bunch on an email.
Yeah, I don't know.
That he can send.
Yeah, so if you do find yourself in a situation of an active shooter, if you're at a business or you're at a, the federal government and local law enforcement, we teach run, hide, and fight. So the first thing you need to do if you hear something like that going on and you're in a position where you can escape, you need to try to get away from the area as quick as you can, and then get on your cell phone and notify law enforcement and give all the relevant information that you can. The next thing would be to hide and stay as quiet as you can, put your cell phone to a silent mode, and then the last case scenario would be to fight if you're confronted with an active shooter.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I wasn't here at the time, but many people are concerned about a particular incident that they've told me about. It happened after a show on a Saturday. There were about 9 police cars, and there were police with guns drawn. The people here are interested in finding out what happened. For their own safety, they need to know something. So I would appreciate it if you would give them an answer that could satisfy them. If not, tell them where they can get the information so that they can find out what happened in order to protect themselves and the village. Thank you.
The best answer I can give you is I'm not aware of any incident, and I usually get a call from my supervisors if something comes up. So can somebody tell me when this was?
No. Many?
Mid. Is Eva going to be at the meeting today? Okay, I'll ask Eva if she can give us some information.
It was one of the Stratfords. They found a grenade in an apartment.
Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, we did get a call, I guess, for some reason, they were searching an apartment, the family members, and they found what appeared to be a hand grenade. We responded. We did clear the building. The grenade turned out to be an inert training grenade. Those of you that had time in the military are familiar with those. They're hollow. They have no capacity to detonate, and you can buy them at flea markets and stuff all over. But for all appearances, they look real. So we treated it as such until we could determine it. So yes, but our EOD unit came out, Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit came out and cleared the scene and took custody of it. Anyone else? Yes. Oh.
Good morning, everybody. Ed Grossman, Wellington A. I wish everybody a happy and a healthy new year and a good year. I think Esther has a terrific point and maybe a simple answer to that here. Perhaps a major siren could be put up in Century Village, and if something is happening and we're notified, the siren can go off 1, 2, or 3, and people would be alerted that something is there. I don't think it would take a tremendous amount of funds, and I think it could be a deterrent. And I would hope that we could adapt that, because not everybody has cell phones or whatever, but 99% of us can hear, and if there's a good amount of blasting, we'll have an idea of what's happening.
Anyone else? All right, we'll see you this afternoon.
Thank you. As part of this issue, I will remind you all that we have about 1,400 of your email addresses. If UCO receives a validated alert of any sort, say from the Sheriff's Department, we would have no problem putting out an email alert. The idea of a siren is interesting, and maybe we'll look into that, Eddie. I had one in the little town that I lived in up north, and there was a published code as to the number of blasts. It also was used to summon fire and rescue volunteers. So that's an interesting idea, and we'll look into it. Thank you. Yeah. I will have to take responsibility for missing this, because I do get this package before it goes out. And you'll notice that the principal item of business for this day is not even there, and that is nominations from the floor. Mea culpa, and I'll try to be a little more alert next time. I'm going to move that right up, because there's no knowing how long that will take. So I am going to move nominations from the floor up next and call up Jackie Carlin.
Okay, I'm here. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, and Happy New Year. I would like to quickly review the rules for the nominating from the floor. First of all, you must be signed in as a delegate. Only a delegate can nominate a person for a position. When you nominate and you come up to the mic right there, please state your name, your association, and the office that you are nominating a person for. Then the person who you are nominating must be here and must come up to the mic and state that they accept the position and give all information, their name and also their association.
Yes.
Now, up front you see 3 members of my committee, Joyce Reese, Lori Torres, and Kathy Wajanaro. Kathy is a good friend of mine, and for the life of me, I can never...
All right, Jackie? Jackie?
Yeah?
A matter of protocol here. First of all, I must advise that we have 147 signed-in delegates, so clearly we have a quorum. but a very important issue before we get into this. Are there any corrections to the minutes? All right, let's not make a big thing out of it, Randall. You made a suggestion, and I'm following it. Let's not turn it into a great Robert's Rules debate.
I have a correction. What do you want?
All right, come up.
Just saying. Okay, under new business, Marilyn Godetza made a motion to accept Article 6B term. That was not the motion, because otherwise, all of 6 would not have been accepted. The point is, Marilyn Godetza made a motion to accept Article 6 with the exception of 6B term. Okay, and then amendment by Randall Borscher to Article 6B term was referred to committee for consideration.
Got it? All right, thank you. Any other corrections to the minutes? Right. Then the minutes will be accepted as corrected. Thank you. Jackie, sorry to interrupt.
Okay, my committee also has the sign-in sheet of all delegates, so they will be checking that against the person that comes up. Now, I know that some of you have taken clickers, but I would like you also to bring up your ID. That way, my team will make sure to spell your name correctly. Pardon me?
Clicker.
Pardon me?
The IDs go to get the clickers.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so just bring your clicker. Thank you. All right, we will begin now with nominations for president from the floor. Anybody who wishes, any delegate who wishes to come up and nominate somebody for president, please step up to the mic.
Looks exciting.
I see that there are no nominations from the floor for president. Okay, then we will move on to nominations from the floor for vice president. Are there any delegates who wish to nominate anyone for vice president? Please step up to the mic. I see that there are no nominations from the floor for vice president. Then we will move on to treasurer. Are there any nominations from the floor for treasurer? Please step up and state your name, your association, and the person you are nominating.
Olga Wolkenstein, Northampton R. I am nominating Ed Grossman for treasurer.
Who?
Is there a second? Please come up. Well, I see Barbara got up first.
That's interesting. Running for president.
Okay, so come up, Barbara, to the mic.
Barbara Cornish, Chatham M., seconds Ed Grossman for treasurer.
All right, Ed Grossman, please come up to the mic to accept the nomination.
I don't think they have to come up.
Good morning again. I appreciate the fact that I've been nominated for treasurer, and I know I'll do a terrific job, if I say so myself, and I accept the nomination.
Okay. Thank you. Please. Now, did the people step over to your desk? Okay, I repeat again, that anybody who, Olga, please step over to the table. They have to verify your information. And Barbara and Ed.
Everything but my social security number.
Okay, that's, or you wait, I think. We will then, any other nominations for treasurer? Okay, we will then move on to nominations for secretary.
Which one?
Are there any nominations for secretary from the floor.
Which,
Well,
which secretary?
okay, John Hess, what was the title? He's not here.
Recording.
Recording secretary. Nominations for recording secretary.
Just one thing, I'm sure you all remember this, there's nothing that prevents you from nominating yourself.
True.
Okay.
Okay, nominations go right on.
David Givens, Camden O. I'm not nominating myself. I'm nominating Bob Rivera for recording secretary.
Okay, is there a second?
Oh, yeah.
Anita Buchanan, I will second the nomination of Bob Rivera.
Is Bob Rivera here? Bob, please step up to the mic.
Doggy.
I accept the nomination.
Okay. Bob, you have to step to the table and give them your information.
No, he nominated.
Okay. Last but not least, are nominations from the floor for executive board.
Huh? Dog.
Pardon me?
Corresponding.
Oh, I thought Sandy was, okay. All right. Sorry about that. Nominations from the floor for corresponding secretary. Corresponding secretary nominations. Not that all positions are not important, but these are two very important positions. All right? Okay, then we'll move on to executive board. Are there any nominations for executive board? We have openings. A question? Or are you coming up? Come up if you have a nomination, Ed.
I'd like to nominate Jerry Satowski. Oh, you got a bio?
Oh, he's got the bio.
Oh, I didn't know
Okay,
that.
so anybody else? These positions, executive board, is a meeting once a month. It's also something that
Terrible.
one should be interested in. We need new blood. We're always saying that we need new blood. Here's your chance to nominate somebody for executive board. Okay, then nominations then are closed. Thank you for your time. Oh, anybody that was nominated from the floor at the end of the delegate assembly, please step outside and your picture will be taken. But I did see Walter taking pictures, but step outside just to make sure. Thank you.
All right, Jackie, thank you very much. Much wiser philosopher than I once said, people tend to get the government they so richly deserve. I have to honestly say I sensed a wave of apathy. Folks, you got to get involved. It's your village, it's your money, and these are your decisions to make. Having said that, let's move along. It went a lot faster than I thought it would. Sebastian is not here today. Eddie, do you have anything you'd like to say under Treasurer's report? Eddie?
Not really. I think the issue that we're looking for to resolve the issue of his not being here today is that he will be here this coming week to work on the annual report so that we can get the audit done as soon as possible. So if anyone has any questions, they'd like to look at this report and review it with him, they can do that this week. If they call the office, we'll make an appointment and make sure you have access to speak to the man. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ed. All right, let's go around the table. Let's start with Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm actually not prepared because I thought the nominations would take longer and we might not have time for this, but Happy New Year. And you didn't hear my name being nominated from the floor, but I did put my bio in. I am going to run for corresponding secretary again for another 2-year term. So just putting my name out in front of you. So, Sandy Cooper. All right.
All right, thank you. David.
Good morning, and I hope everybody had a nice holiday. The only thing I'd like to ask everybody is, especially the presidents of their associations, is to remember to watch what people are putting out at the bulk trash. It really looks ugly when you see something put out an entire week ahead of time. And sometimes we have to make a call and have it picked up, and sometimes it'll get charged back to your association. So remember, they put it out on Thursday evening or Friday morning. And also remember what you can put out for bulk items. If you need that list, you can come up to the office. I have a list of things that are acceptable for bulk pickup. Kitchen cabinets are not one of the things that are acceptable for bulk pickup. And I know that a lot of times we have people redoing their kitchens, but please make sure you know what is being put out and when it's being put out. Thank you.
All right, Fausto.
Good morning, Happy New Year. What we see today is part of what's going on into the village. Everybody wants to say what they want to say, but they're afraid to say it, and you need to get involved. These are some of the issues that we have that are going to change the village very shortly. A few years